Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope you're ready to buckle up because today we're going to take a deep dive into something super interesting and frankly kind of mysterious. And here I'm talking about something that popped up in one of the most underrated, but let's be real, most important websites for gaming news, the Korean Game Rating Board. Now, I know what you're thinking. What in the world does the Korean Game Rating Board have to do with anything, right? Well, hold your horses because, trust me, when you hear what's coming up next, you'll see why this is such a big deal. Okay? Now, the rating board has given us a little nugget of info that's really gotten the wheels turning, okay? And this little nugget revolves around Siren. Yeah, Siren. That classic survival horror game from way back in the PlayStation 2 days. If you know, you know. But for those of you who don't know, well, buckle up because I'm going to fill you in on all the juicy details, okay? And we're going to speculate a lot, okay? Like a lot. We're going to stretch this out as much as we can. We're just gonna yap, okay? We're going to break down all the possibilities and just have a good old time theorizing together, okay? Ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's start with the basics, okay? So let's talk about Siren for a minute, or maybe 5. Why not 10? Okay. You know, when Siren first came out back in 2003, which was 21 years ago now, a lifetime ago, it was one of those games that didn't necessarily get the same love or attention as its counterparts, like, say, Silent Hill or Resident Evil. But in its own way, it carved out a niche that was so special. This game is iconic for fans of psychological horror and survival horror alike. But it wasn't really for everyone, right? It's a game that really challenges you. It doesn't just handhold you through the experience. The whole thing revolves around these, let's call them sidejacking mechanics, okay? Where you literally jump into the vision of your enemies, those terrifying zombie-like creatures called the Shibito, and try to navigate the world where you're basically being hunted, yeah? And let me tell you, this was no walk in the park. You weren't some superhuman with a shotgun blasting away hordes of enemies. Oh, no. You were just some poor soul trying to survive. The tension in Siren was palpable. It was the kind of game that made you really question your decisions. Like, every step felt like it could be your last. So fast forward almost 20 years, people, and this game is still a staple in the conversation about what defines psychological horror in gaming. And that's what makes this new Korean rating board listing so intriguing. Okay, all right. So let's get into the meat of this. The rating. This is the real reason we're talking about this today. Now, the Korean Game Rating Board, it's not just some website that rates random games for fun. These ratings are serious business. When a game gets rated, especially a game like Siren, it usually means there's something in the works behind the scenes. And that gets my mind racing. I mean, think about it. Sony hasn't really touched this franchise in a long time. And yet here we are with Siren getting graded in Korea. This opens up a whole world of possibilities. Okay, so let's break this down. First, we need to consider the most basic vanilla option here. Okay, and this could be a straight-up re-release. But before we brush this off as boring, okay, let's talk about why even a re-release could be huge. Not everyone has access to a PlayStation 2 these days. Okay, most modern games have never. Most modern gamers have never even seen a PS2 in real life, let alone played one. Okay, so having Siren available for modern consoles, even if it's just the original version as is, would be massive for introducing this classic to a new audience. Can you imagine younger gamers trying to wrap their heads around those sight-jacking mechanics for the first time? Now that'd be pretty cool. It would also give the older fans another chance to dive into this creepy world again, but without having to blow the dust off our old consoles. Nostalgia alone would drive sales. Yeah. But here's where things get spicy. What if this isn't just a re-release? What if, and just stay with me here, this is a possible remake, and I'm talking a full-blown, ground-up, modern remake. Think Resident Evil 2, but with Siren. Just pause for a second and imagine what that would look like. We're talking about ray tracing, yeah, possibly ray tracing. Why not? Imagine those Shibito coming at you with hyper-realistic, graphics and shadows and whatnot, stalking you through those airy, fog-filled environments while your heart is pounding in your chest. You wouldn't just be playing the game; you'd feel like you're in it. But the PS5's hardware is basically built for experiences like this. And let's not forget about the 3D audio. Imagine sitting in your living room late at night, headphones on, lights are off, and you hear the faint sound footsteps behind you. You know it's just a game, but the PS5's immersive audio makes it sound so real that you literally turn around and check your surroundings. Siren is one of those games that would absolutely shine with modern technology. The creepiness factor alone would be turned up to 11. And the game's atmospheric style would reach new heights. If, this is the direction Sun is going in, I'm personally ready. Sign me up. Okay, so now let's talk about the possibility of this coming to the PlayStation Plus Classics. This, I think, is a pretty likely scenario. If you haven't been paying attention to the PlayStation Plus Classics, you've been missing out on some serious gaming nostalgia. Sony's been bringing back all these older titles, and fans of retro gaming are loving it. I know I can speak for that because I personally enjoy them. I enjoy what they put on there. But so, anyways, imagine Siren dropping into that library. Okay, for those for those of us who have the PS Plus, it's a win-win. I mean, you're already subscribed, right? And suddenly, boom, you've got Siren ready to play. But Sony's been using this classic service to tap into nostalgia. And it seems that they've been doing pretty well. Now, if Siren comes to the classics lineup, it's another feather in their cap. And look, let's be real, there's nothing like revisiting a PS2 game with its original graphics. It's an entirely different vibe, It's a whole vibe on its own. But wait, what if this isn't just Siren? What if they sneak Siren 2 in there as well? Yes, Siren 2. Not as many people played it, but it's still part of the series. Okay, and having both games in one place could make the ultimate horror double feature. We're talking hours of terrifying gameplay, and I'm already getting goosebumps because let me tell you, Siren 2 was absolutely terrifying. It was terrifying. Now, okay, here's where things get wild. What if this rating's just the beginning? What if this is Sony testing the waters? And what if they're gauging interest, seeing if fans are still hungry for more Siren content? And now, This might be a bit of a stretch, but hey, we're just speculating here and talking about fun stuff, right? What if they're planning on using this as a springboard to launch an entirely new entry in the Siren series? Like, imagine it, okay? Like Siren 3. Or maybe even a reboot of the franchise altogether. It's not impossible, right? We've seen it happen with other franchises. Look at what Capcom did with Resident Evil. They started with the remakes, and then they dropped Resident Evil 7 and Village. Both fresh takes on the series that brought it back to its horror roots. Could Sony be thinking along the same lines? I mean, they've been bringing back old franchises and, dare I say, making bank off of them. Look at the Ratchet and Clank series. That was a game people loved in the PS2 era, and look at it. Rift Apart came out and everyone went wild, so why not Siren? Why not take this moment and bring the franchise back to life in a big way? We're already kind of seeing that with the Silent 2 remake that is coming out that in a week from now. It's just around the corner, just in time for the spooky season. So, at the end of the day, we have this tantalizing little breadcrumb. Game rating from the Korean Game Rating Board that's got us all talking, but what does it really mean? Could it be a simple re-release? Could it be a full-on remake? Maybe a collection? Possibly. Could see Blood Siren. I forgot what it was called, the game that came out on the PS3. Or could this be the start of something bigger? Something that could bring the Siren franchise back into the spotlight where it belongs. Honestly, I'd love to see it. And I'd also love to know what you guys think. So drop a comment and share your thoughts. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for checking out. Thanks for tuning in, and let us hear from you guys. Take care, and until next time.